It's been announced that the Denver Broncos are placing 4 players on injured lists ahead of training camp. It was announced by the Broncos' official Twitter account that they are placing Baron Browning and Kendall Hinton on the physically unable to perform list, and KJ Hamler and Mike Purcell on the non-football injury list. Now, there isn't really too much of a difference between these two designations. They both mean that you can be added to the active roster at any given time. You're just basically having a roster spot held over for you during the early part of training camp while you are getting ready to be physically ready to go. Now, the reason why KJ Hamler and Mike Purcell were placed on the non-football injury list is because they suffered their injuries during non-football sponsored activities, whereas Baron Browning and Kendall Hinton both had knee scopes and they were deemed due to football-related activities, so they were placed on the physically unable to perform list. Coming over here to this tweet from Mike Kliss, it says that injury placements for Browning and Purcell were expected, and here's the really good news here, guys. There were no injury designations heading into training camp for Javonte Williams, Tim Patrick, and Aaron Patrick. All of those guys coming off of torn ACLs, they are ready to go for training camp. Although with Javonte Williams, you know that the team's going to take things slow and steady with him, but he is going to be out there week 1, which is absolutely huge. The no injury designation for all 3 of those guys, plus JL Skinner, rookie safety who tore his pec while training for the combine this offseason, all of those were expected. That is really good news. So all 4 of those guys will be out there for week 1 of training camp. KJ Hamler was a mild surprise, though, because he was a limited participant during OTAs and minicamp, according to Kliss, and he appeared to be on pace to start on time. So this means that KJ Hamler has suffered another setback with his injury. That absolutely sucks. I hope that it is only a minor setback and he can get back up there as soon as possible, but it really sucks to see KJ dealing with yet another injury, setback, and speed bump, if you will. It really sucks because KJ has been doing everything he can to get on the field, and it seems like life just keeps dealing him blow after blow after blow. It also says here from Mike Kliss that Kendall Hinton was a surprise as his minor knee scope was kept quiet. So overall, Broncos country, we got some good news and we got some bad news today. The good news obviously being that Javonte Williams, Tim Patrick, JL Skinner, and Aaron Patrick, all 4 of those guys are going to be ready to go for training camp, and it appears that they are not having any setbacks in their rehabs, which is absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, the news that KJ Hamler is going to be out for an even more extended period of time, that one is a bit of a blow to the Denver Broncos and is only further confirmation as to why the team drafted Marvin Mims in the 2nd round. Then with Kendall Hinton, Baron Browning, and Mike Purcell, here's hoping that none of those guys will miss any regular season time. I feel like if there are any that are likely to miss regular season time out of those 3, it's Baron Browning, as Sean Payton has talked about, but hopefully it will be minimal regular season time, if any at all. All right, Broncos country, so now that these roster spots have been temporarily opened up, I do expect that the Denver Broncos could potentially bring in a couple of extra bodies for training camp. They may bring in a couple of extra guys on the offensive line, maybe somebody on the defensive line. We've already got plenty of depth at wide receiver, so maybe we could bring in somebody there, but I feel like that's probably the least likely. Either way, guys, do expect some moves coming for the Denver Broncos in terms of roster additions. Alright guys, be sure to leave a like on this video as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. I would really appreciate it, guys. Those are 2 free and easy ways to show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out to fellow members of Broncos country just like you and me. And until next time, guys, this has been another episode of Denver Broncos Syndicate. I am your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.